Welcome to VoiceOver Experts, brought to you by Voices.com, the #1 voiceover marketplace. VoiceOver Experts brings you tips, pearls of wisdom, and techniques from top instructors, authors, and performers in the field of voiceover. Join us each week to discover tricks of the trade that will help you to develop your craft and prosper as a career voiceover talent. It's never been easier to learn, perform, and succeed from the privacy of your own home and at your own pace. This is truly an education you won't find anywhere else. This week, Voices.com is pleased to present Pat Fraley.
Hi, this is Pat Fraley, and this is kind of an anatomy of a character voice demo. The talent, by the way, is Pamela Chalet. Our goal was to produce a character voice or animation demo comprising of about a dozen evocative, unique, and developed characters. The first step was to have Pamela start recording her characters at home and one by one send them to me via email in MP3 files. She would slate in character and record. I told her not to worry about being clever. We'll deal with scene and dialogue later. I would listen to her efforts and email her notes on adjusting the characters. I'd give her notes on the various characters, hopefully to advance her efforts. Sometimes the characters were not evocative enough. They were characters that I'd kind of heard before, and they needed to be her own swing on them, making them more unique. Sometimes the characters lacked development, and as much as they weren't motivated, and the acting was weak, or they didn't have an agenda, meaning a pervasive condition or agenda, like fame, attention, being naive. I guess it averaged out to be about 2 exchanges on each character. Here's a recording of what she did at home on a character she named Fontaine Belford, an aging actress.
Darling, it's Fontaine Belford. And I'm about to give you the greatest single audition ever given anywhere by anyone. Your emotions will go up, down, in, out, and beyond with my stunning array of incredibly perfect choices. I will weep, dance, love, and walk as every man and as no man. Acting, above acting, vision, baby, vision. I will flare, I will sear, I will be on fire. Line.
After she accumulated her 15 to 18 characters, it came time to write the scene or dialogue piece. This is a critical stage. 80% of all character work for animation is comedy-driven. So we had to be funny, very funny, not just cute or humorous. Like one of my mentors, Bob Holt, used to tell me, it's not good enough to make them laugh, you gotta make them bleed from the ear. Most often the demos I hear are just not funny. They're on the way to funny, but they're not. And part of the importance of writing is selecting a location, or the perfect location and situation for the character, the perfect scene, and focus on whom the character is speaking to. They had to be brief so we could end up with about a dozen characters in a 1-minute plus demo. When we were close to the dialogue we wanted, we went to the studio and started recording. Really, we only recorded a few of the characters because the MP3s she sent me were so clean, and she's very clever, which is unusual, and so she was coming up with funny lines that we could use. That was out of the ordinary. By the time we had accumulated the characters, we were in a position also to see an emerging style to them. With Pamela's unique, low, dusty voice and her sort of bent sense of humor, it was a no-brainer to focus on those characters she did best, and where she would be hired. Femme fatales, old broads, quirky characters, and a couple that were totally outside that range to show the potential of range. For the character Fontaine, we decided we would use that as the first character on our demo and be responding to the announcer who slates her name. I like the sound of an upper-class Brit introducing character voice demos. The contrast between stuffy and silly works well to my ear. I was tapped to do the announcer for her, like this. Pamela Chalet. We recorded her line in the studio. Here's how I directed her.
What you want to do is back off the mic and, no, like, now I go, Pamela Chalet, right? Pamela Chalet. And you go, no, just Pamela, like Cher. Like you had the idea about Cher before you say it, and then I want you to do it once where you go, no, Pamela, like Cher. That's when it comes to you. You know what I mean? Two different ways. Okay, just give me a series of 3.
No, just Pamela, like Cher. No, just Pamela, like Cher. No, just Pamela, like Cher.
Give me a like Cher, a couple of those.
Like Cher, like Cher, like Cher.
Very good. I was on the button.
Like Cher.
After editing the lines, these are the raw takes married. Pamela Chalet.
No, just Pamela, like Cher.
Now it was a matter of music and sound effects. I wanted old school corny acting music. I found this. Then, just as a concept really, we liked the idea of placing her in a stuffy apartment with a nasty little rat dog in her lap. Here's the dog. Here's the mixed snippet. Pamela Chalet.
No, just Pamela, like Cher.
We repeated this process for the rest of the demo. I decided in post-production to put some characters on the phone, some with music behind them, some dry without sound effects, some with sound effects to place them in an actual scene. Here's the final result. Pamela Chalet.
No, just Pamela, like Cher. It's Mary. Just Mary.
I guess that's when he hit me. When I woke up, he was running my head through the checkout thing, trying to get a price on me.
The hounds are nipping at our heels, but tonight, we're done! And all I remember after that was seeing my 10 pudgy fingers pulling and twisting and gouging at the candies and just shoving them in my mouth. Did that hurt? Ooh, blood, ick. I may have to sit down and put my head between my knees. And welcome back to our show, the show that is all about you. Let me tell you, there's more to life than computers and machines. I am big. It's the microphones that got small.
Know that all performers have a different journey on their demo. Some have more characters available to begin with. Some need more time accumulating their list. Some are more facile at coming up with comedic lines. Some need guidance in establishing their style. It's all a matter of doing what's needful in a timely way. I hope you found this helpful, and thanks for listening.
To learn more about the special guest featured in this Voices.com podcast, visit the VoiceOver Experts show notes at podcasts.voices.com/voiceoverexperts. Remember to stay subscribed. If you're a first-time listener, you can subscribe for free to this podcast in the Apple iTunes podcast directory or by visiting podcasts.voices.com. To start your voiceover career online, go to voices.com and register for a Voice Talent membership today. This has been a Voices.com production.